everyone. So, so let's continue our discussion further one. So we cover the stack parenthesis problem. We cover monotonic stacks. After that, we have to cover monotonic stacks. So monotonic stack problem. Okay. So in which we see many of the problem. One of the finest and generic question of the monotonic stack are based on ng 1 1 2 and 4. Okay. Let's see how to solve these three problems. ng1 2 ng. Okay. Let's see which next greatest element. So okay, let's see. The first question is that based on the next greater element. So next greater element 1. Okay. So in this question, the question explains that question is, so we are given with the nums1 and nums2 and nums2 array. Okay. Now where nums1 is a subset and nums is a subset of nums2. Okay. So in this case, for the each element in num1, find the next greater element in the nums2. For each element in the nums1, find the greatest element in nums2. Okay. For this example, nums1 is given as nums1 is given as 4 comma 1 comma 2. Okay. And nums2 given as 1 comma 3 1 comma 3 1 comma 3 comma 4 comma 2. Okay. So what will the output will be? The output will be output have to find fourth next greater element. So there is no next greater element for the fourth. So we have to write -1. For 1, the next greater element will be 3. So put the 3 value. And after that, for the 2, there is no greater element for the next greater element for the 2. So we have to return -1. Okay. So this was a generic question. So we use monotonic stack. Okay. How we do? Let's see. Let's see the approach. Okay. So in this, let's see what we have to do. Simply for the next greater element, the answer will be in vector form. So vector will be already given in this question. We don't write that much the function code. So where to start? First, create an unordered map of what? Int comma int. Okay. To the next. So name is next. Create a stack where every element will store. So int st. Okay. After that, we run this on the nums2. So for loop start with the I from the backward. When we find the next greater element, we have to find from the backward side. So nums2 dot size -1 and goes till 0. Okay. So after that, what we have to do? Int uh, let the number x is equal to nums2 of I, and run the loop. Check st.empty till st.empty, run this while loop, and st dot, if st dot top top st dot top is less than is equal to st dot top is less than is equal to our x value, in this case st dot pop. Okay, so in this case we have to st dot pop. Okay, after that what we have to do, and next in the next array what we have to put, um, dot pop. Okay, and whatever for the next of nums of will be st dot empty. If next dot this will become st dot empty, in this case we have to use -1. Okay, otherwise st dot top. Okay, and st dot push x. So run this while loop. Okay, control x, st dot pop, and put this value. No, I think this one outside. This one is correct for this. You have to place, if st dot one is empty, return -1. If and otherwise you have to return the st dot top value. So, and we have to store the value into the vector. So int res result vector. What to do? Traverse all the value. So auto it over nums2 nums1. So nums1, and we have to see every element. Res dot push what? Res dot push next of order map of x. Okay, so next of it. Okay, this will be inside the result, and finally we have to return the result. Create an unordered map of this stack with all the values are placing. We have to check what is the next element. So we create an unordered map. We firstly traverse from the right to left on the nums2, and if we check int x will be nums2 of I. The while loop runs till st become empty and st dot top is less than the value. We have to pop that element and simply push the st dot nums is equal to empty. If st dot nums is empty, then return -1. If st is empty, then return -1. Otherwise, we have to return st dot top. Okay, and st dot push the element every time. So in result, we have to return like this only. So this one is an easy problem of NG. So, and second follow-on question, on the next data element 2. So this one is a medium level question. So what we have to do? In this case, so a circular array. Find the next data element for the every element. If does not exist, return -1 for the circular array. So when we have given nums of something like 1, 1 comma 2 comma 1. Okay, and the output will be 2, 1 for 2, and 2 for -1, and 1 for 2. So it is a circular array type. The variation is circular type. So circular array type. Okay, so let's try decode the next element for this one, the stack approach, and iterate twice. So simply this is a stack approach and stack stack approach, but iterate twice. So we simulate the circular property looping to n time. Okay, so looping to n time. Okay, so int n is equal to nums dot size. Okay, what to do? Nums dot size, create a stack of int of st. Okay, after that what we have to do? We run the loop to extend. So for I will be twice of n minus 1. Okay, I greater than is equal to 0. Okay, I minus. Oh, and also we have to store the value. So int x is equal to nums of I modulo by n. Okay, and simply the previous thing we did in ng1 stack did empty. If any of element is less than the nums value, we have to remove from this array. Okay, if what if st dot top will be less than is equal to x, in this case we have to st dot pop. Okay, otherwise, okay, and if we have to check if I is less than n in rest of I result. So we also create a vector. We leave this we left. So in this case, int of create a vector in which we store the result of size of n simply, and all initialize with the -1 value. Okay, and what we have to do, if I is less than n, so we simply put the value. If st dot empty we simply place -1 already placed, so -1 minus, otherwise we have to place st dot top. Okay, and or if condition n, simply st dot push x. Okay, and finally we have to return the answer, return the result. So the catch is the looping thing. Okay, we start with the 2n minus 1, or simply this one, circular for x is equal to this one. This one is already studied earlier, and if I is less than 1, so st dot empty return -1, otherwise you have to return st dot top. Temp complexity will be. For the each element, find the second greatest element. So in this, another one is ng4 next greater element 4. So in this case we have to return ng4. In this case, what we have to do? In this case, we simply given a nums, we have to return the second greatest element, find the next greater element, then find the next greater element of this greater element. Okay, so simply for example wise, nums1 is given as like 2 comma 4 comma 2 comma 4 comma 0 comma 9 comma 6. Okay, so the output will be what? For the 2, next data element is 4, but for 4 the next data element will be 9, so return 9. After that 4, the next data element will be 9, and next data element will be 6. So, and after that for 0, next data element is 9, and is 6. For 9 there will be -1, and for 6 -1. Okay, for the first data element 2, what we have to do? Simply we keep waiting for the first data element, after that wait for the second data element. Okay, get when a number is greater than the element of s to assign the greater element to. So in this question we have to create two stack. So int n is nums dot size. Okay, after that we have to create a result vector in which we store the answer. So int result vector in which we store the answer. So initially -1, and the stack of integer st of 1 and st of 2. Okay, and also create a temporary vector for the storing the previous vector. Okay, temp. Okay, after that we simply starting from the zero index int I, starting from zero and I less than okay, and after that what we have to do, we have to extract the first element int x is equal to nums of I. First element is extracted, and after we have to assign the second greater element. So while loop, same the while loop condition. While loop condition will be if till st dot empty condition, st dot empty, and nums of st dot two dot top element is less than is equal to less than this one. So the nums of something, nums of st dot top element. We have to check that element. If it is less than something, so what we have to do? We put the value and pop. So in this result vector, we have to st dot two dot top value will be is equal to become x and pop the value, and st dot two dot pop. Okay, okay. Simply for the move the st1 to st2 for the greatest element. Then st dot empty and st dot of less than one. Temp dot push st dot top, and after that traverse the temp and simply push the value. And